everything is just awesome. You know, it's just every day just gets better and better every day. I go out, I'm just like, oh, bang, win it, win it, win it. It's like everything is coming up, Rob. Whew, life is good and easy. I bet you're feeling that same way too. Just nothing can possibly be going bad. You know what? My life's not like that either. But I bet a lot of us are accustomed to having hard times. Obviously, hard times happen to everyone. And you know what? If you haven't gone through them yet, you could possibly be going through it sometime in the very near future. So today I'm going to talk about some things you can actually do to prepare for those hard times and help you get over it. So let's get at it. I'm Rob Johnson and welcome to the Legacy Gentleman channel. One of those things that's going to define a man is his ability to deal with hard times. The ability to navigate yourself and your family through hard times is not something that comes naturally to people. In fact, a lot of us, we're going to have to go through those hard times and with instructions and guidance, navigate our way through it successfully with the support of a lot of people. Today, I'm going to talk about some of those steps to help you navigate through it. And the first thing you really need to do is think about your feelings and acknowledge them. And serious guys, they're called hard times for a reason. And you're going to feel a certain way when you're going through hard times. But one of the things that'll help you get through this hard time is to acknowledge your feelings. It is okay to be emotional in some parts. That's part of being human. And you don't want to suppress those emotions and let them control you, but you also don't want to let them get out of hand and run fully. You're going to have to acknowledge those feelings in the first place before you can even start dealing with it. So guys, in hard time, recognize you have feelings, acknowledge them, and then start to work on them, which is what we're going to talk about next. So like I said, you've acknowledged that you got some feelings about these hard times you're in. That's normal. So now what you need to do is reach out for support. So you need to not hesitate to reach out for support. Share your feelings and your thoughts with somebody that'll actually help you. So you want to share with friends, you want to share with family, you want to have these people who are going to help lift you up. They're not going to tell you you're a loser and that you're bad, but they're going to tell you, hey, this is hard times. And like I said, all of us go through hard times. All of us have these tough times, and finding ways to effectively deal with, firstly, these emotions you're going to have is going to be the first step of moving you on. Reach out to somebody for support. Reach out to friends, reach out to family, reach out to a church member to actually get you some support. The next thing, guys, you want to do is actually seek professional help. Now look, you don't need to seek professional help with everything, but it needs to be on the table. Don't be afraid to reach out to professional support. Get a therapist or get a counselor. But also, man, pastors are professional. Those are also professionals too. So if you have a minister or preacher in your life, reach out to them. They're also counseling, and they'll help you guide your way through this and also keep the focus on God. The next thing you can do that'll also help you during hard times is to stay physical. So guys, sometimes when you go out and you exercise, you get physical during tough times, you burn off a lot of energy and you get those good, hormones coming through your body. So get some exercise, make sure you're eating well, and make sure you're getting enough sleep. All these healthy things that you're doing to your body will help you cope with the stress and challenges of hard times. So man, make sure you don't neglect your physical health. So guys, I've given you a few empirical things you can do to start dealing with hard times. Let's get to some real rubber to the road things. You need to set yourself some realistic goals. Setting realistic goals is essential. You need to break down the problem that you're having, where these hard times come from, what's the actual source of it, and come up with some realistic goals to achieve to get you out of the situation you're in. You got your mind right, you got your emotions right, you got your spirit right, you got your body right. Okay, that's all great. Now it's time to start tackling this problem that actually has you in this situation. Come up with realistic goals that's going to start moving you out of these hard times. Sometimes it's beyond your control how you get there, but getting out of it is definitely going to be within your control. Come up with a plan to get yourself out of it with realistic goals. And when you have these realistic goals, you can have checkpoints of achievements that'll start building you out of it. And when you start achieving those goals, it'll boost your morale, it'll boost your self-esteem, and you'll be one step closer to getting out of the hard times you're in, and you'll be 100% in a better mindset and place emotionally, and it'll all start building on each other. So man, set some realistic goals to get you out of these hard times. I kind of mentioned this before, guys, but you really need to make sure you're building up a network. So yeah, I talked about tell somebody what you're going through and lean on them support, but also guys, build you a network of like-minded men and women who are going to be supportive of you. Everyone goes through hard times, and a lot of people have a lot of different situations that they go through, from losing jobs to losing a family member to dealing with alcoholism and drugs. There's a lot of people around you who have gone through things and have overcome them that you can lean on when you network with them. So guys, don't try and do this alone. Find you a network of people that'll help you get through hard times. So you're working through these hard times. You start to do some things that's going to start moving you in the right path. Here's something you need to remember, guys. You need to remember that you're growing and learning during this time. So instead of just viewing hard times as a failure, even if this is something that's beyond your control, you need to look at it as a time for growth and learning. And as you set these goals to pull yourself out of this bad situation you're in, think about what you're learning from that and use that as lessons that you can apply during the future. Life is long, and a lot of times we can learn from our past mistakes and other people's past mistakes, and a good example of other people that's going to put us in a position to be successful in the future. And this is no different. Your hard times is definitely an opportunity for you to learn and grow. Look at hard times as an opportunity to learn and grow. One of the things I talked about earlier during hard times is make sure you don't neglect your physical health. And I talked about exercise and some of those other things. But another thing is to remember your hobbies. If you like to fish, you like to hike, you like working on cars or whittling or whatever, don't forget to do that even during your hard time. You need to be working on pulling yourself out of the situation. Maybe if you need to take a second job and all that stuff, there's things that you're gonna have to do that might take you away from your hobbies. But when you have an opportunity, spend time with your children, spend time with your family. If you have a hobby, make time for that, because those are all things that are gonna help you stay balanced and normal. So many during hard times, do what you need to do, but still make time for your hobby. This last thing I wanna talk about is really the overarching thing that I really want you to remember during hard times. That is that there is a God out there. God didn't bring hard times in your life. What happens is life happens. We're in a world that's fallen and full of sin, and because of the fallen nature of this world, bad things happen to us. God has you here for a reason. He's giving you the strength and ability to overcome it. Turn to Him, put your faith and trust in God, and He will see you through the hard times. I know that peace comes through Christ, and when you put all your cares on the Lord, you have nothing to worry about. It doesn't magically change situations. It doesn't bring back stuff you've lost, but it does give you peace. And peace that surpasses human understanding will come from God. So if you haven't worked on your relationship with Christ, if you haven't worked on that relationship with God, take this time during the hard times to work on it, and then carry it once He gets you through these hard times. As we talked about today, everybody's going to have hard times. And when these hard times come, you don't want to get bogged down into it. You don't want to focus on yourself and just spiral out of control. So these are some steps you can take that'll help you move from it. Reaching out to people, then making a plan to get out of it, and then remember that there is a God out there who cares for you, and He will bring you through these hard times. Hard times come and hard times go, but you as a man need to be the one that can lead yourself and your family out of it. So men, remember this stuff and let's make it happen. I want to thank you for stopping by the Legacy Gentleman channel. If you found something in this video useful, please like it. If you want to see more videos like this that's going to give you the skills to be a man who overcomes the world, And please subscribe to this channel because that's the kind of videos I make here every week. And until next time, go be legendary.